Hello, this is Caleb with Garvin Sewer Service at 4760 Table Mesa Drive, which is the Bixby School. This is the bathroom on the lowest level, facing east, or on the east wall, I should say. We've had DJ come out, snake this line. A few days later, backed up again. Lucas needed to snake this line. They both encountered some issues, recommended a camera, which is why we're here today. They are not experiencing a backup, and this line does not need, well, it doesn't need to be clean / can't be clean. We're about to talk about that right now. Pull the toilet in the bathroom that is small, that is not the boys or girls restroom. There was a sewer gas smell in here as well. The wax ring was not fully suppressed. The floor drains are holding water in the P-traps, so that's got to be that. So we'll fix that when we reset the toilet. We are almost 37 feet to the tap that I believe is owned by the city. We are watching the flow go from south to north, which is kind of opposite of how it looks, but there's a manhole going north, and I was told that that's what it was, and that's the direction of flow, and that's what it is. So we're going to go ahead and start pulling back. We are looking down into the line. We do got a good amount of root intrusion right there. I'm very positive that's clay. That's what I'm going to say it is. You got root intrusion right there. Our guys could not get bigger blades throughout there because we have 3 offsets. This is the last of the 3. So the connection point when we're dropping into the city line is 9 feet deep in the driveway marked with paint. One of the guys here that works here made a good point that they think they're going to score it with a grinder so that it's visible in the time that it needs to take to get this repaired. And you obviously see we got an offset with kind of like basically a break in the line here. That is PVC to clay, 9 feet deep. So that is our third of 3 offsets. Again, 9 feet deep, marked with paint, heading east in the driveway area down to the bottom hill where I marked. So that section we were in, I believe, was 45 down, kind of in the slope, because right here we have another offset, kind of like we have like an SDR coupling here, so PVC on either side. Sorry the camera doesn't self-orient itself. Maybe that's a little better. Water's on the bottom left side of the screen, and we're dropping down. There's a little bit of an offset here. So this is our second of 3 offsets. Minor offset here, might as well fix it. This is 2.5 feet deep. There is like a wooden it's like step, barrier, whatever you want to call it. It's right there. That is 2.5 feet deep at that barrier marked with paint and flags. 2.5 feet deep. So then we're fairly shallow here. We're around 2 feet to 2.5 feet deep. And then we're going to see one more real gnarly offset. I'm going to flip the camera back around. Water's on the bottom right, bottom side here. Right here we have our ABS. And as you can see, we have a pretty gnarly offset here. Up top is dirt. Maybe some root intrusion that got cut out. There's a tree close by. Discussion has turned into maybe that tree needs to go in the future. This is right at the foundation wall, just on the outside of it, about 2 feet deep. I was getting actually like 1.11 to 2 feet 1, so right there. And then we're ABS all the way back to the bathrooms that I'm operating from. Now I want to point out this. I believe that's a blade mark. It does not look like a crack, in my personal opinion. You can see the fitting right there to the right. It doesn't look cracked. I think it's the blades when they ran the line maybe with 4 or 3 inch blades in the beginning. That is DJ and Lucas. I don't believe that's problematic at this time. I will have somebody else take a look at that. If it is, it's probably in the women's bathroom or the girls' bathroom. And it's probably pretty shallow, maybe a foot or less. And we could maybe locate that if we deem that needs to be fixed as well. I think it's a blade mark. I'm not too worried about it, but I'll have somebody else maybe give me a verification of that. So I'm going to push back out again just to kind of show you one more time. You drop down there, kind of drop, gnarly offset. 2 feet deep, foundation wall, heading east. Minor to moderate offset here before we 45 down, 2.5 feet deep at the wooden step. Then we're in the drive, heading down. We have this break / offset at the PVC to clay transition. I was getting like right here, like 8 foot and some like higher change. Got some gnarly roots, and then right here is 9 feet deep. We're dropping it on the top of what I believe is the city drain. It's much larger. So for the roots, like in a perfect world, we can maybe, I don't know if it's worth to fix the tap in when they're digging it up. Maybe cut those out because you'll be able to just literally reach in, cut them out. If we don't fix, if we don't replace this part, there are trees around, so they'll have to snake it periodically. I do highly recommend putting some outside cleanouts at that first offset. That way they don't have to pull the toilets in the future. Very shallow, so I think it'd be a very, very smart idea. They said we would want that, definitely. A couple things for our excavation people. There is a gate that goes down the drive. It's fairly large. I believe you'll be able to get a trailer and an excavator down here. They have dump trucks that have come down here in the past. I asked about the traffic to see how large the vehicles are coming through. They say not often, but they have in the past. Maybe you want to double check that. I'm afraid maybe the shallow portions that's not in the street might be something, but just have a second opinion on that. And I also want to mention that they have a playground area that is in 2 weeks scheduled to have construction done. So they ripped out a bunch of stuff, like a wooden, I don't know, something coarse, and they're going to replace it with metal. So in the next 2 weeks or so, there's going to be a lot of traffic going through to put in a playground of some sort in the back area on the south side of the building. So I did recommend maybe just go ahead and doing this after that. I think that would be a smart idea in order to not have any problems after a repair that would require more work. I think that would save a lot of people heartache. So what I didn't do here is, all right, we are at 20 some odd feet. So that is about 7 feet for that first section from first to second offset. Then we're the driveway dropping down, and then here it is 36, so we're looking at 16 some odd feet, and then for whatever reason we go farther, another foot. So 16 to 17 foot of pipe repair, but from up top, whenever, I guess that kind of checks out, because when I walked it with a walking measure from this spot to the wall, I was getting 15 feet. So 15-foot long trench. It stands about 16 feet worth of pipe, so kind of the same there. So somewhere between 15 and 17 feet of a pipe repair, fixing 2 offsets, ranging from 2 feet deep to 9 feet deep. Put in risers, remove those roots. My camera's going crazy, so okay, we got a picture now, we're still recording. Okay, so the ABS inside looks to be good. Have somebody check out that scratch. I don't think it's going to be a problem. And if it was, it'd be maybe separate of the job. We would go inside for that. We would need to locate that. If we had a riser, that'd be super easy to locate that. I will write this all in the invoice so that we will go ahead and have a written description of this. Send us off the excavation estimate, or somebody to give them an estimate for it. This does not answer any questions, or you have more, please give Garvin Sewer Service a call. My name is Caleb. I appreciate your time.